Hey everyone, let's dive right into this explainer and build a step-by-step Google Workspace security audit designed specifically for IT managers. If you're currently preparing for a SOC 2 or ISO 27001 audit, you know exactly how much pressure is on right now. You're tasked with making sure every single digital door and window in your organization is locked up tight. So today, we're going to look at the exact settings you need to change to transform your workspace from a potential liability into an absolute fortress.
Here is our quick roadmap for today's explainer. First, the default security trap, then the 5 critical settings, mapping to compliance, tracking audit progress, and finally, next steps and community.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the default security trap. So you might be wondering, is your Google Workspace actually secure right out of the box? It's a totally fair question. You're paying top dollar for a premium enterprise product, so it should be locked down from day one, right? Well, here is the hard truth. If you're just relying on that default out-of-the-box configuration, you are literally leaving the digital front door wide open. We aren't even talking about crazy, state-sponsored cyber threats here. We're talking about basic, glaring gaps that any SecOps lead would spot in like 5 minutes flat.
Now, what's absolutely fascinating here is that this isn't some accident or a bug. It's a deliberate business choice. Google actually favors frictionless onboarding over secure defaults. Think about it. The easier it is for a brand new user to sign up, log in, and just start working, the faster their product spreads. Frictionless onboarding is incredible for growth, but it leaves you, the IT manager, holding the bag when it comes to enterprise security. You absolutely cannot just set it and forget it.
Moving right along to Section 2, 5 critical settings.
Because of that default trap, we have to actively play defense. We need to override that frictionless setup with real enterprise-grade security. So we've put together this 5-step checklist, which is basically your ultimate action plan. Enforce 2FA, restrict API scopes, enable email off, tighten Gmail safety, and monitor the alert center. If you follow these steps, you're going to lock down those vulnerable defaults across your whole organization. So maybe open up your admin console in another window right now, because we are getting hands-on.
Okay, step 1 is completely non-negotiable. Enforce two-step verification company-wide. Believe it or not, even today, two-factor authentication is still optional by default on Workspace. That means literally anyone in your company could log in with just a password. One weak password or just one successful phishing email and boom, an attacker is inside your systems. You need to jump into your admin console, go over to Security, then Authentication, and turn on two-step verification enforcement. Pick a firm deadline, and after that date, make sure absolutely nobody gets in without a second factor.
Next up, Step 2, block broad API scopes for third-party apps. This one is all about stopping shadow IT in its tracks. By default, your team can use that handy Sign In with Google button on virtually any random third-party app. But when they do that, they're often unknowingly handing over broad access to their email, their contacts, and their drive files. Honestly, this is exactly how massive data leaks happen. So go to API controls and block all third-party apps by default. You want to only allow the Sign In with email scope. This way, employees can still easily log into approved tools, but they can't accidentally hand over your company's intellectual property. If they need a deeper integration, make them formally request it so you've got a clear audit trail.
All right, moving to Step 3, enable DKIM, DMARC, and SPF. Look, out of the box, Workspace does not set up email authentication for your domain. What does that actually mean for you? It means anyone on the internet can send an email pretending to be your support team, or worse, your CEO urgently asking for 20 iTunes gift cards. Your clients and employees have zero way to verify if that email is the real deal. These 3 protocols exist for one specific reason: to prevent email spoofing. The whole setup is completely free, it takes maybe 30 minutes tops, and it is absolutely vital for protecting your company's reputation.
Step 4 is all about tightening up Gmail safety settings to blot inbound threats. Gmail actually has some really fantastic built-in protections against malicious attachments and super suspicious links. But here's the catch: most of them just aren't fully enabled by default. You have to go into the Gmail safety settings yourself and manually toggle them on. We're talking about turning on enhanced pre-delivery message scanning, protecting against encrypted attachments, blocking scripts from untrusted senders, and enabling protection against shortened URLs. Your team won't even notice you made these changes, but your attack surface is going to shrink dramatically.
Finally, Step 5, utilize the security and alert centers. Look, you simply can't protect what you can't see, right? You need to really leverage the built-in alert center and the security investigation tool. This gives you proactive monitoring across your entire environment. You can dig into suspicious file sharing, investigate user reports of sketchy emails, or spot weird chat messages. Setting up rules and monitoring your notifications here literally transforms your IT posture from constantly reacting to fires to being completely proactive.
Okay, Section 3, Mapping to Compliance.
This brilliantly leads us to our next focus, which is actually proving to your auditors that you are secure. Because, as we all know, in the world of compliance, if it isn't documented and mapped, it simply doesn't exist. When we look at this, you'll see that these 5 fixes we just talked about aren't just arbitrary good ideas. They explicitly map to the exact controls your SOC 2 or ISO 27001 auditor is going to be hunting for. Enforced 2FA checks the box for access control and identity verification. Restricted API scopes satisfy data protection and vendor risk. Those email authentication protocols cover communication security. Gmail safety hits malware and threat protection, and actively monitoring your alert center proves you have solid incident response and auditing capabilities in place. This right here is exactly how you speak an auditor's language.
And keep in mind, Workspace doesn't exist in a vacuum. It seamlessly integrates with your existing third-party identity providers, like Okta, to enable a really secure workforce. By routing your Google Workspace authentication through a dedicated identity provider, you're cementing your compliance around identity and access management even further. It's all about building that layered defense strategy.
Let's move on to Section 4, Tracking Audit Progress.
Now we need to shift gears from what you need to do to exactly how you're going to track all this work. Doing the audit is one thing, but managing the project without completely losing your mind is a whole different ballgame. As our source material wisely points out, complex projects benefit from robust quality control checks. You should really think of this workspace audit not as some frantic one-time panic drill, but as a repeatable spot check process. Whether you outline your checks in Google Sheets or whatever tool you prefer, the main goal is to make sure your quality control is never an afterthought. Honestly, consistency is the absolute secret weapon of every great IT manager.
And one of the smartest ways to maintain that consistency is by bringing your project management directly into your day-to-day workflow. Instead of dealing with chaotic, messy email chains every single time a security vulnerability pops up, track your workflow with Workspace add-ons. If you install the Asana or Trello add-on for Gmail, you can instantly convert a vulnerability email directly into a task. You can assign team members, set due dates, and track the whole project's progress without ever leaving your inbox. It perfectly bridges the gap between getting an alert and actually getting the problem fixed.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, Next Steps and Community.
Okay, let's wrap up this explainer with exactly what you should do next to stay ahead of the curve. Look, security is a massive ecosystem, and you don't have to navigate it all by yourself. If you found this audit breakdown helpful and you want to keep streamlining your IT ops, we absolutely want you in our community. So make sure to subscribe to the Robo for Education YouTube channel for more deep dives just like this one. Follow our site and blog accounts for weekly updates, and most importantly, come say hi and join the Robo Place at Google Chat. We always love seeing how you guys are actually applying these strategies in the real world.
As we close out today, I want to leave you with a quick question. We all know security is this ongoing, constantly evolving journey. So drop a comment below and let us know. What is your biggest compliance headache right now? Seriously, what is the single most frustrating part of your current compliance audit? Is it gathering the evidence, wrangling user permissions, or something else entirely? Tell us about it, and we might just tackle your specific headache in our next explainer. Thanks for hanging out and stay secure.